Degenerates, I don't know what episode this is. I was counting the other day. We're at like almost 80 episodes that we've done total in the past, 2 years or whatever. So this is pretty good. We're back with the Cuídate girls, which I think at this point we should like know your names, because if you guys are gonna be, frequently coming here, people need to know. Like, I want to know the episode where Alondra was talking her shit and where Cynthia was talking her shit, But I'm glad that you guys are back, because it was really fun last time.
It was, and
I think it should be a regular thing. It'd be really great. The Degenerates, we're back. Episode something. Hope you guys are liking all our content online. It's been really fun, very hectic. We're getting into the holiday season. So please like, share, subscribe. Hopefully we have some good content for you guys in the near future. I do have an idea. I want to do like a hater of the month for the podcast, because there's so much shit that gets talked on my comment section on the comment section, our comment section, I guess, that I'm like, I kind of want to highlight some of these haters. Yeah, you can. And I want to be like, I want to like have a whole, like, make a whole reel where I'm like, the hater of the month is this guy or this girl, whatever. Like, and thank you so much for your support, because I noticed this. Like, I started arguing with some people online, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, we'll just go back and forth or whatever, right? Like, They think I'm an idiot, I think they're an idiot, and we kind of go back and forth, and it doesn't bother me, right? And then I look, and they're following us. It's not just like they saw the reel and they're like, let me talk hella shit on this reel, like, and then I'll forget about it. No. These people are like following us and like watching everything that we're doing. And I'm like, bro, the commitment to the hate is kind of inspiring. Yeah. I don't hate people like that. I'm not going to follow people I don't like. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the fact that some of these people are going out of their way, like, and they will comment on everything. Like, I'll post something and they'll be like, nah, that's not it. And like, they'll message constantly, like on the DMs, they'll just be going off. And then every comment section, every little chance they get, they're like this and that. So I'm like, man, this person's always commenting. And I'm like, man, maybe I really hurt their feelings, right? Maybe their little feelings got hurt. And these little like MAGA people got hurt, right? Like the snowflakes. I'm like, pobrecito. And I'm like, oh, let me see if I really like affected this man's life, And they're following us. I'm like, I gotta give you guys props. I wouldn't follow somebody that I have 2 accounts for most things, but on YouTube I have 2 accounts where I follow only like right-wing people, just to see the kind of shit that they're talking. But man, I was like, I'm kind of impressed. So I kind of want to do like a hater of the month. Like, I'm gonna give you guys some love, because like the commitment to the hater rate is like really, really, really great. I'm like, I'm kind of, I'm touched. So I'm like, I want to do it. But I don't know. And then at the end of the year, I'm like, maybe we should have like a hater Olympics, like the hater awards, where I'm like, the hater of the year goes to like, for talking hella shit, for being a fucking dumbass and committing to the hate. This is the year of the hate. Funny. Kendrick Lamar got everybody hating, Yeah. So it's
true. You should. I think that'd be really funny.
That'd be really funny though.
Like at end of the year, like,
but the top hater? But the thing that makes me, one, I get afraid of 2 things. One, I think calling out people, like, it's one thing if you don't agree with my stance on fucking Trump, but if I say your name, then it becomes kind of personal.
Oh, that's true.
It can become, if they're already following me and trying to find every reason to call me a fucking idiot, right? Then they're really gonna be like, especially if they don't take it in a good way, if they're not like lighthearted about it the way that I would be, they're gonna go after it. You know what I mean? They're gonna try to like say everything. They could tell Instagram like, oh, he's like personally attacking me and blah blah this and that, And then 2, I get worried that even if they take it the right way and they're like good sports about it, I get worried that the channel will only be known for that. Like, people will only come because they're like, yo, these people like talking hella shit, and and like if you hate on him enough, he's gonna make things. He's gonna shout you out, and he's gonna make it. So then I think it will just invite people to hate just to hate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To be the hater.
Yeah. So, and if I'm trying to do like a positive message thing, then nobody's gonna listen to that. Everybody's gonna be like, no, I only want to see you. I want to wait till the end of the month so I can figure out who the fuck has been talking hella shit.
Maybe you could do like hate comment, like just
top hate comment. I'm thinking like maybe I should like blur the name. But then also, that's not fun. I'm like, if you're going to say it with your chest.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know. Me and Brayden will talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. But I really had the urge to do it. I'm like, because I was talking to this one guy specifically, and I'm like, bro, I want to highlight how much of an idiot you are for the world to see. You know what I mean? I want to like, it's one thing if you were on my comment section and went on my DMs and wanted to go back and forth. But I kind of want like the world to see.
Yeah. I mean, you could just do like an episode,
like a hater episode,
like just be like a different podcast vibe, and it's like this time I'm going to talk about
dim lighting it though, like
all dramatic.
I'm here to talk about something serious.
I think it should be the caption.
I've reached my limit, and then be like, "Psych, y'all are fucking idiots." So here's the hater Olympics for the fucking.
Yeah, it would be really funny.
Yeah, that'd be funny, right? I'm thinking about it. There has to be a good way for me to deliver it, where it's clear that I'm trying to be funny, and also being like, I still don't like y'all, but I appreciate the follow, because I kind of want to tell them that too. I'm like, thank you for following, because like they haven't unfollowed.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, that's impressive.
That is impressive.
I'm like, y'all must really like me.
Yeah.
And they don't. They don't like me. But I'm just saying, like, you keep following, so.
That would be funny.
You should do
It is. It's the year of hate. Not for us.
Sadly.
Because we love each other. But it's the year of hate. They just got the United Healthcare CEO the fuck out of here.
Oh my gosh, wait, before we start that, let me stop the video. Sorry.
Oh.
Because it's going to start, I just now realized that I don't have the volume down, and then it's going to start playing when you're talking. And I'm like, let me just stop it. Okay.
No worries. Dun.
I have a lot to say too. Okay.
What did you guys think? Did you guys see the video of the United
Yes.
Healthcare people? I mean, the guy
crazy.
is crazy.
And he was on his way right to like a stock meeting or something.
An investor
like that.
meeting, yeah.
Investing, yeah.
And the meeting didn't stop.
Of course it didn't.
Continued. Well,
They got money to make.
We're not surprised, but it's wow.
It's scary.
Just
I
like
know, it's
Dang, what was your first thoughts? Give me your first reaction. Like, when you saw it, were you like, or were you like?
Yeah, because I was just like, they just did it like in plain like sight. Like there was.
Have you guys been to New York before?
No.
Okay, so Midtown Manhattan is busy as shit.
Yeah.
Like it's so busy. It's not even funny how busy it is. Can we pull up a video of Midtown Manhattan? Just go to YouTube and type in Midtown Manhattan. Just put it in there.
And didn't they also say too that like he used some type of like weapon?
Ew. No. Just it's the video of the dude. No. Just like man. See,
I mean,
we're not gonna be a walking
the
tour.
talk.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the talk of the town. Look at this.
Oh my gosh.
See, I'm gonna have to clip this. I hate having to clip this because I'm not sponsored by these people, so I'm not. I don't want to.
Yeah, we can
like Boost Mobile, I don't want you on my shit unless you cut me a check.
Do not watch The Lion King.
See, Cynthia's like me too. Look at this.
That is insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough. We've seen enough.
Yeah, no, we get that's terrifying. Like it
So
really,
he just, and it was 7 a.m. So it's probably a little less crazy, but still, like imagínate.
I mean, people are up all the time. It's like the city.
He was going up to investors meeting and just got popped real quick. The first thing I thought is that I thought it was a game. I thought he was just playing. I was like, that's not a real gun. Like he's just being a little whatever. And no, homie, just John Wicked him just right there.
Crazy.
No, I thought it was really crazy because I think once like more facts started coming out and they were like, oh my gosh, he used this certain type of gun which doesn't even make like sound or something, right?
Yeah, he had like a very specific type of gun, and then he suppressed it even further.
So it's just like this is definitely premeditated. Like
100%.
Like, you know what I mean? Like
100%. 100%. What did you think?
I mean, it's crazy, but then also it's.
Did you feel bad for him?
I mean, I really don't know too much about him, but I mean, just the healthcare system in general, it doesn't care about us. So it's like I don't really have fond opinions about it. But then I'm just like, overall, like any type of assassination, like that in
It's
broad
a tug of
daylight
war, right?
is really crazy.
It's a tug of war. On one side, you're like, man, somebody getting assassinated like that in public like that, it's kind of crazy. I don't condone it. But on the other side, I'm like, but you kind of a piece of shit though. So, do I want justice to get carried out like that? I don't know. But also, I'm not the one that did it, so now I get to just comment on it. You know what I mean?
Like we just get to see how this like ends up. Like what?
And no one cared.
Stuff.
No one cared. Like everywhere online was like, they had the jokes for the dude. They were like, Twitter was crazy. My health insurance plan does not cover sympathy. Like they were going out. They were going off. There were a whole bunch of people that were like, man, I hope that the ambulance ride did it. Like, you know, I hope they got an Uber or something because they don't want those unexpected medical bills. Like they were going off, and I was like,
yeah,
I don't know. The stock went up. United Healthcare stock went up.
After that?
Afterwards.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Afterwards.
That's literally crazy.
And then you were right. Or that they all the other healthcare insurance agencies started putting down their CEOs' information online
and stuff, and it's like,
nah, say it with your chest. You gonna make that much money? You could go up there. Also, like walking around New York City when you make $20 million and without security is kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
That's what I thought was the craziest part. Is just like for someone that is like up to that level, like a CEO and everything, is like to just get assassinated like in broad daylight
and no security. Although to be fair, like New York has the most millionaires per capita in the United States. Mm-hmm. So you could be in New York walking and there could be a literal like $100 million dude right there or girl like just hanging out. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like on Fifth Avenue where all the fashion stuff is, right? Where like Vogue is and all of those things. Like you could on any given day you might see like Anna Wintour just like walking by and she worth a lot of money.
Yeah, she's worth a lot. Yeah.
She's crazy. Just chilling with her glasses and her coat and she's just walking trying to get a coffee. Like so there's rich people in New York just chilling. But also like you got a lot of people that don't like you, dude. Like you're denying claims left and right every day. Like you got a lot of people that don't like you.
That's also like I feel like he wasn't expecting it or something to just be out without security. Yeah. You know, because it's like if someone has any sort of like threats or someone, especially if you're like you're at that higher level and you get any sort of like threats to like be assassinated, hurt, or anything, like you're going to have security on you everywhere you go. Yeah. So I feel like it was so random.
And they haven't caught the dude. Random. That's the crazy part about it.
Yeah.
They haven't caught the dude.
It kind of goes back to like Money Heist when it's like you're rooting for them to win. It's kind of like
but you know it's wrong.
Yes, it's wrong, but it's just like these people are bad. Like, you know, so yeah. It's
you ever seen like you ever seen like cheating videos where like they catch a dude cheating or they catch somebody cheating and the person like can't help it, like the person that got cheated on that like catches them can't help it and they go off, like they start going crazy and throwing shit or this and that. Like my instinct when I watch those videos is like, I don't know if I would make that kind of a scene. Like that's kind of embarrassing. But also like I feel you, baby girl. Like I feel you. Like I know that I might not do that, but like I'm feeling what you're feeling, and that's exactly the way that even if I didn't do that, I would feel like that inside. Like I'm getting chairs and I'm throwing them all, you fucking bitch, like blah, blah, like I'm going ham, right? If I caught you at fucking Denny's with my, you know what I mean? Like somewhere, like
I think that would piss me off.
I would go off, right? So that's kind of how I felt when I watched the video. I'm like, I would never do something like that. But also, like, I know the feeling. I know that feeling of, like, man, like, if I knew who the healthcare CEO was and 2 days ago you told me, like, I can't get fucking lung surgery because of, you know? Or, like, if my dad got cancer and you know, we can't get treatment and then I see you and I'm in the cab and I see you, like, I can understand, especially if I'm down bad.
Yeah.
Like, pull over real quick. I got something to handle. I got somebody owes me something real quick. I'll be right back. just keep the door open. I'll be right back. Like, you know, it's okay. I'll be quick.
Like super quick.
So I get the feeling at the same time, and like nobody cared. Nobody was like, they didn't find him. The only police chief was like, this is the most planned assassination attempt that I've ever seen. Like, giving him props. Like, the dude. Yeah, he was like, this is the most artistic. I'm like, there wasn't planned. I mean, there was planned, but like, it's not like he like went from the fucking roof and like came in and was like, bye, and then like left in a fucking.
Like a sniper shot
from
like
it was
another
like, what
building.
do you mean? Like, he just walked right up to the dude.
Shot him and left.
Bye.
He walked away.
See you later.
Oh
and there's a stereotype in New York that like New Yorkers mind their business. That's like a big stereotype over there. Is that if you're a real New Yorker, you don't give a fuck about anything that's going on. Yeah. You just keep minding your business. You just keep walking. Dude outside shitting on the street, you're like, keep it fucking moving. Like, I don't know his life. He don't know my life. He could be going through it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let him be. I got shit to do. Everybody move. Fucking tourists. Like, keep it fucking moving, right? Like, we got shit to do, right? That's the big stereotype in New York. So I've been seeing a whole bunch of like TikToks and a whole bunch of videos where it's like the average New Yorker when they ask about if they've seen the shooter, be like, I've never seen that person before. I actually gotta go. What are you doing? Get out of the way! Like, we're fucking moving. And so it's so fucking funny watching all those things because nobody is out there looking for the dude.
Yeah, literally.
They put a hotline. They put the cops put a hotline up. Like, if you know anything about so and so, please call. And they've been calling the hotline with one phone, and then calling the United Healthcare Insurance on another phone, and putting them both on speaker and being like, here's my number, like my account number, my whatever number, right? And then they're like, please hold, and then they put the music on the
no way.
They put the United Healthcare music on the hotline. So then the 911 operator is like, do you know anything about it? And it's like, we're sorry. Please hold for while the next available, because it's fucking hilarious. I'm like, you can't expect that shit to hit the internet and people not to have jokes. Like, we live in a different world now, you know? Yeah. They found the backpack though. 2 days later, they found the backpack in Central Park.
Did it say like what was in it?
Nope, they didn't say what was in it, but people online started going crazy after that too. People online are like, if it took 2 days to find a stationary object, they're never finding this man.
No, yeah, you're already
they are never finding this man.
Yeah.
And like 6 hours, I called my siblings and I was like, 6 hours after it happened, we were having jokes. We were like, man, we wish we would have filmed, because 6 hours later, I'm like, this man is in Canada. Like, what do you let him go? Like, he's gone. He's not here. He's either in some cabin somewhere in the middle of the United States with no electricity, no Wi-Fi, living his best life, withdrew all his money from his bank account like a month ago. Like, this man knew where he was going. Yeah. Or he's in like Hungary right now, chilling.
Yeah. Literally, you never know.
He's somewhere. He's having a blast. You're never finding this man. No. It's been days. And this isn't like one of those times where, remember a couple years ago there was the Gabby Petito case. Mm-hmm. Did you guys follow that?
Yeah.
Right? Did you see that with the van and the girl and the dude started lying or whatever? It's not like some white girl got killed. When white girls get killed, the whole fucking country stops trying to look for this white girl. Yeah. This is not that. Nobody's looking for this man. Everybody's like, that's a nice tree right there. This is really good. Yes. You know what I mean? Literally. So.
Well, yeah, and then it's like he wasn't like a good guy, so it's like that's why you just kind of like face other way. You're like, okay.
Yeah, we're like, well.
I mean, like, really, what can we do? Like,
I mean, I wasn't in New York, like, so it's like I didn't see him, like.
I don't know. He's invited to the carne asada though.
Somebody did like an outfit thing on him, because you said you found the backpack, and they said, oh my god, this backpack's worth $500 or something like that. And I was like, why did he like low-key have style and stuff like that?
Like, damn, he wanted to do it, and he was like, yo, I need you to know this is Ferragamo. Like, I need you to know that I showed up in Louboutins.
This is vintage.
This is vintage. Like, this ain't no thrift shop. Oh like god, shit. Like, I need you to. This is New York, honey.
Yeah, like if
you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it right.
Yeah, it's so insane.
Damn, literally. I wonder how many people have to be careful now. I wonder if all the CEOs are like security for everybody. Like,
well, I thought it was weird too that they're taking them off. I guess I get why, but like it's also weird because it's like,
y'all
why
scared?
Are you worried?
Y'all
like
scared.
Was it somebody from your guys' team?
No. I'm like, why are you worried? It's like, you're doing something bad.
Yeah.
It's like you got a lot of guilty conscience. You know what I mean? You got a guilty conscience in there.
Hide if like they have nothing to hide. Like, what the heck?
Yeah. What the fuck? Like, what's going on? Man, it's a crazy time.
That is.
No, it was wild.
Biden pardoned his son. It's a lot of crazy. We're ending the year strong.
Yeah.
Biden pardoned his. Did you guys read about that?
Yeah, I didn't even read into it.
What did you guys think? His son was wilding. his son was like fucking hookers and like doing coke off of strippers and was like, yo, my dad is vice president. Like, what? You know, he was living life. I was like, God damn, white people are crazy. But like if like when the Obamas were president, that I can guarantee you, he sat everybody down and was like, you cannot wall out. We are black. We cannot do that, right? If a Mexican was president, imagine a Mexican being president, like a Mexican American being president of the United States. We having a group meeting. Like you cannot go to the fucking to the club.
Yeah.
You can't. You can't show up.
Calmas o te
calmo, right? I get the fucking Secret Service to get the calme, all right? Like, you need to, for the next 4, potentially 8 years, you need to slow the fuck up because we're not having this. I cannot have the front page in the New York Times with you in a blunt. Like outside on the lawn, on the White House lawn, with your robe and your fucking and your fucking Chapulín Colorado underwear and shit. Just like we can't have that. We can't have that. Yeah, having like grilling outside with your Bud Light. That's crazy.
Yeah,
no,
that's crazy.
So he was wilding, but it made me mad though. It made me mad because I was like, anytime rich white people get away with things that poor people can't get away with, I get pissed off. Yeah. Like, I get it. Trump's going to come in and he's going to, like, fucking try to put everybody in jail. Because he said he was already, he ran on retribution. I'm trying to, like, fuck everybody over. Or everybody that said anything bad about him, right?
Yeah.
But also, dude, like, I hate that shit. I'm like, a poor person can't do that. A poor person can't be like, yo, let me pardon my son real quick. Like, I hate it. I hate it when that happens. When judges, like if judges ever let their son go or whatever, or they give him a lighter sentence because they know another judge or shit like that, pisses me off. I'm like, no, let him go to jail. Let him go to jail.
He has to learn, and you're not helping him learn.
He don't even have to learn. He just has to go to jail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know plenty of Mexicans that went to jail and they did not learn. But I'm like, you don't got to learn, but go to jail, my guy. Yes. You got to go to jail. He got to go to jail. If any politician that does something wrong, jail. Bye. See you later. You had a public service. You had a civic duty to be on your best behavior while you were representing me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
go to jail. Trump should have went to jail. Yes. Biden's son, if he did something wrong, he should have went to jail. Anybody that committed a crime, when you up there, jail. Bye. Yeah, you should be the first in jail. It's literally the whole point. And you should get the worst jail. You shouldn't even get the cushy jail. The like the fucking what is it, like country club jail? Yeah, with like a tennis court in there and like Wi-Fi. Like TV, no, you need to get you need to get the ugly jail. You need to get the jail they send like narcos to.
Like no showers.
No. No.
You're sharing it with like 6 other inmates.
6 other ones.
Yes.
In Gen Pop. Just in general population, you got to show the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where you need to go.
Yeah, because that's what you did. Like. That's literally why you guys created that.
In 2008, when Obama did not arrest not one Wall Street banker after the housing collapse, pissed off. Jail. All of you guys, jail. Bye. See you guys. Get in line. Y'all going to jail. That would have been me. Yeah. That would have been me. Like, what am I doing? What are we doing? Like, and this is the problem. Like, all these people have corporate donors, and they're like, no. Just bail them out.
Yeah.
Bail you out. You think like how many people got student loans right now and be like, just bail me out? No, honey, you owe interest.
Actually, for saying that, now you owe more. Like,
it looks like you just missed your payment, so now you owe more, right? They be pulling left. They be go fucking like poor people can't get away with that kind of shit. So it pisses me off whenever rich people do it. I can't stand it.
How do you want us to care or even like be or even like consider that thought when like that's not the same to us at all? It's just like, what?
Yeah, and like going back, I feel like all us like minority groups, like we've all been sat down and had like the talk, where it's like you can't be doing this just because if you have like you're around white people, you can't be acting and doing the things they do because it will all fall back.
Did your parents have that conversation with you?
Yes.
For real?
Yeah.
What did they say? Walk me through. Yeah, but it happened very specifically. Like it was like I think I had just gone into college or something because I went to school and I was in a neighborhood that was essentially all Hispanic and black people.
Yeah.
Like I don't think, to be honest, I don't think I met a white person until like high school. Like a legit. I think I had like one teacher in elementary school that was white. But I think that's it. Like I don't remember registering in my head like, oh,
Yeah.
people. Like until I was in high school. It was all Hispanics. It was all black people.
Yeah.
So
We're on like the opposite. Like we were the only like in my graduating class, like I was the only Mexican, only Hispanic, like no other one.
so y'all were like the minorities.
Yeah.
It didn't register to me that I was a minority in the country.
Yeah.
Until
Because whenever I went to school, it was smoke for everybody. Like we were all bullying each other. There was no racism. There was you know what I mean? Like we were going at it. Like, you know?
Oh my God.
And in my neighborhood, like we didn't leave my neighborhood. It was all inner city. Like, but you know, the only, actually, no, I'm lying. The only white people that there were cops.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
There's only like and then a couple like Mexicans and or like Hispanic and like black people, and we would clown on them too. Yeah, we would clown on them even more because they were cops, like, you know. But yeah, like it did. So I got the talk later on in high school whenever I had gotten into college, and my dad was like, "Look, listen, you're gonna go and you're gonna meet people that are doing some crazy shit because this world is crazy, and you're gonna find out real quick that who you know and what your resources are says a lot about the outcome that you're about to get." You know what I mean? So it didn't dawn on me immediately. I had already known, like I had already been around a lot of people that were doing a lot of crazy shit. I had already been around a lot of like people that had good jobs that were like doing cocaine every weekend or every day or this and that. Like I had already been around a lot. So like the ambiguous part wasn't hard. It was more so after the fact. Like I remember getting in trouble with people, and like people that in the moment I was like, oh shit, we're all going to jail. Like, and I remember thinking that, I'm like, oh crap. Like, and it's not because I was doing something wrong. I was just hanging around these people, and they had already done like 6-7 lines. They had already done like we were all like, you know, drinking, and they were driving, and this time I'm like, oh fuck, this is it. And they were able to be like, no, you know, we're lawyers at this firm, blah blah blah, or like they called, and they would be like, oh okay, it's not a big deal, and they just keep it moving. I'm like, oh, I can't do that, my guy. I can't. There's no way I can be like, listen, let me call my friend. Like, your friend, get him over here so he can go to jail too.
Yeah.
They'll
you know?
start like interrogating him too.
Yeah, like here, bring him on. We need to fill our quota.
Yeah.
I'm like, actually, I have 3 other friends.
I got 3 other friends. How many friends you got? Because my quota's done tomorrow, and I'm nowhere near done. I need that bonus.
Yeah, for real.
I'm not sure quotas are a thing anymore, but in general, like that's how it was. That's how it felt. So I was like, oh yeah. So we got that. I got that kind of talk. You guys got that talk when?
I think I got it very young, like when you start meeting friends and you want to start having like sleepovers and stuff like that. I got it for different reasonings, obviously, because he was just like, you're gonna be in a house filled with people you don't know and stuff like that, but also because he's like, these people like are different from us, and like whatever their kids are doing, whatever you're doing, like they're never gonna pick you over them and stuff like that. So I got it.
So you got you got the talk that was like, look, you're about to go to these people's houses every now and then. They don't have tortillas. Don't get crazy, like, you know, like don't be asking for shit that they're not gonna have. Like they're not gonna have pan dulce.
Well, and when
there's not gonna be bolillo. It's just regular old white bread.
Yeah, white bread.
It's just regular old Mrs. Butterworth.
No, literally, and when I was,
or whatever the bread thing is.
No, yeah, and when we were little too. Well, when I was little, I was pretty bad too. Like I would like.
You were a bad kid?
Yeah, like I would. I know.
Was she bad for real? Tell me. But wait, you don't say. You tell me what the worst thing she did.
I mean, I don't know. I was like in my own world. I don't really remember like what she would do on her like. Damn,
she's a ride or die.
Like,
she's a ride or die. You know that's it. You know that.
But like her and I, we want to talk though. We do want to talk about funny stories, like growing up in a Hispanic household in general, or just like her and I, because we're the closest to age out of our siblings, so we have like a lot of like funny stories. But she would like pick on me a lot. Like she would.
You were a bully?
Yeah, she would pick on me a lot. She would make me do homework in the summer and told me like, hey, your principal said you need to do this or you're not going to pass on to like the next grade.
Yeah.
And she would make me do homework all my summers when I was like in elementary school instead of letting me have fun. Because she made me believe that my principal was going to
her
not.
and her best friend.
The way you laughed, like, you were out there.
She brought a bunch of. I don't know where she got.
I don't know where either. Like I don't.
That's
remember.
crazy. Are you still a bully?
No, actually, no. I'm reformed now.
That's
No, but
fucking
when
funny.
we were little, like I'll tell you, like the craziest thing I think I ever did was I was hanging out with specifically I got to talk after this girl because we had a neighbor that was also white and she was really nice. She just minded her own business, whatever. We just got to where we lived and she was like, let's go cut all her like flowers, like literally all her flowers because she had a really beautiful garden. And I was just like, okay, like, why not? Like, they're just flowers, right? They'll grow back. So we literally cut a whole bunch of, like, flowers from her garden. And then she came out, talked to my dad. She's like, I'm going to call the cops because, like, what the heck are these people? Like, what are these little kids doing? And I think we were, like 9 or 10. We lived in the little pink house, so I was young.
Yeah.
I was pretty young. And so she was just, like, encouraging me to do all these things that were not good. And then I got the talk from that. But then it still didn't. Like, you know what I mean? The talk with my dad didn't really help because I was still hanging out with her. So she, like, encouraged me to steal, like, stuff, too. Like, and they were, like, crazy stuff. It'd be, like, chocolate from, like, the teacher's desk or, like, books that she would have us read. Like, I would steal so many books. And I don't know why.
That's where she got the homework.
Oh, yeah, maybe I stole the homework for somebody else.
Damn, I feel so bad for you. You could have had fun all summer.
All summer, dude, and she didn't. But, yeah, it was stuff like that because, like, she was not, like... She really didn't, like, care about us, but she also was like, I'm going to call the cops, like, on you, like, on my dad, basically. Not, like, on us. Obviously, they're not going to do anything. But they're like, I'm going to call the cops on you.
Oh, so it was like a threat to your family.
Yes,
like, keep your shit
it was
in
like
mind.
a threat. So we were like, okay, I'm sorry. So I did go over there, and my dad did make me apologize. So I was just like, okay, I'll apologize. But when he told me that she's going to put me in jail, and then we're never going to be able to live.
As a Hispanic, having to apologize to a white person is crazy.
Yeah, and I've never said sorry.
I remember where
after.
she lives.
Damn! She said, it's right there. I know your address. She said, I know your address.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, she would, like I said, she had every right to be mad because, like, we were going in her garden and doing stuff, but, like, obviously she only made
But calling
me.
the cops is crazy.
Yes, I know.
Over a little kid
For
picking
a
flowers.
9-year-old, that's crazy.
I don't even think she was 9. That's the craziest part.
I don't know how
I think
were
she
younger?
was younger.
That's crazy, dude.
Middle school? What's middle school? Like, what's 4th grade?
We were in middle school there.
Did you? Okay, this is a good question.
Oh my God,
I was like in third or
I was
second.
4 years old when we lived in that house.
I was like in 3rd or 2nd grade.
Okay, so I have a question. This is a good question because it's gonna make you think about your life differently. Ready?
Oh gosh, okay.
When was the first time that you ever realized that adults are not always good?
Oh my god.
That's a tough question, right? It's a tough question because when you grow up, when you think about adults, like you use the word adults, you immediately place yourself as a child. And you say to yourself, okay, like, who's the adult? Who's the adult? And usually it's always your parents. Usually there's always, like, authority figures. And whenever you're a kid, you just think about adults as knowing what to do. Like, adults know what to do. Adults know what's going on. Adults know what's right. Adults will fix this. Adults, right? When eventually there's a glass shattering moment where you realize, like, adults don't have the answers. Adults may not know what to do. Have you guys ever had a moment? That's a pretty good one, actually. Like, I'm not sure you internalized it like that when you were 9 years old or 7 years old or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I literally did hate her forever.
Damn.
But, like, I did because I had, like, a really ugly, like, thing with anger. And so, like, I would hold on to grudges forever. And eventually I just kind of stopped. But, yeah, I don't know
So
if
you
it was
still hate her?
necessarily... No, I don't. I do not.
Cynthia's like, I'll go back and cut your flowers every spring.
When it's the best time of the year, that's when they'll be gone.
Damn.
But no, I think it was, for me, to be honest, I think I noticed that they weren't all good when our sex, like, ed teacher started to sleep with some of the students in high school.
Dang.
So I think for me...
Did that person go to jail?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can talk about it. You're like, they don't. You're outing people on the fucking pod. That's crazy.
No.
That's
It's
crazy.
nothing anyone can search up though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we good. Not that I was trying to get you to stop. I'm just saying, like, but we about to put somebody in jail right now.
No, he already went. He was already caught and stuff and whatever. But like it was, I think that's when I started to realize it, because like growing up, like he was like the fun teacher and stuff like that, and it was just like. Ugh. Like, you know, it kind of gave me like, well, no, not at all with me, but like, I'm just saying, like, he was like the most, I guess, entertaining one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you think of teachers, you're just like, oh, I think like I feel comfortable with this one, whatever.
That's a pretty hard one. That's
That's
a tough one.
Yeah. I think that's probably for me when I realized not even just that they're good people, I just can't trust like literally anybody.
Adults, yeah.
Or adults, yeah. I was just like, trust shattered completely. Yeah.
How about you?
I'm not. I mean, I think my dad always like told me like to not trust like other adults, because we were always surrounded by like white people, and I'm not saying like all white people like are to not be trusted, but it's like the area we were at, it was like they were racist towards us. There's many stories that I have growing up where like I was discriminated, or my family was discriminated like very easily. So I think it's just in general, like I always just knew like I wasn't comfortable in certain, I did have a neighbor too, like, that I would go and play with. And, my dad did tell me like, hey, like you can't go over there too often. He's like, I don't even feel comfortable going, but it's just like 2 houses down, like, and everything. And me and the girl were like great friends, and I could tell like the dad like wasn't very fond of me coming over like at a young age. And all we did was just like play with our Barbies and stuff and all that. And then I remember, I was like so little, but I remember like he had like the Confederate flag hanging up, and like I didn't know what it meant like when I was little.
In Illinois, and, that's crazy.
Yeah, they were allowed in our school. They were allowed to fly it.
Yeah,
they were like, but
in Abraham Lincoln State, it's crazy.
It's really crazy.
That's
I know.
crazy.
Abraham Lincoln would be so
the disrespect towards honest Abe.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's literally awful. Like, and no matter how many times like we brought that to their attention, they were just like, it's freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Brayden, how many Confederate flags were in Wisconsin?
Too many.
For real?
Oh
that's crazy, dude.
I think Wisconsin is probably crazier. Like,
yeah.
Especially when
but it's a swing state.
Yeah.
Y'all went blue this year, right?
no.
Oh.
well,
Not even close.
Whoa. My bad.
Illinois is only blue because Chicago overrides like all the other
Shot
like,
Town,
towns.
Shot City, Shot Rack.
Chicago.
Is
Shout out to
great.
Lightfoot. Although I don't think she's mayor anymore. Is Lightfoot? Have you seen her? That's the most stressed out mayor in the whole country.
I know. Yeah. There's so many memes of her. But I don't know if she is mayor still.
She might not, but
Yeah.
shout out to Lightfoot. She was stressed out.
yeah.
She was stressed out the entire time she was mayor, trying to fix that shit.
Yeah.
And every
All,
time
like,
she
the
got up
little
there,
snippets that, like, were-
every time she was up there, she was like,
I know. Poor thing. I hope she's at peace.
poor Lightfoot.
I hope she's living her best life.
Yeah.
I think I realized it whenever I was like in probably like say 6 or 7 years old. I was again like super bad neighborhood, but like it was all Hispanic, so it's not like I had to deal with any of the like the racial element. Mm-hmm. But me and my neighbor got in a fight. Me and like we were good friends, but like we would bicker and shit, right? Like we're young and we're angry, right? So we started fighting and we started going at it. And my dumbass decided that after the fight, I wanted to get him in trouble. So I went to the front door of his house because we're fighting like on the driveway of the house, like in front of everybody. We didn't give a fuck. We was just fucking going for it. And I knocked on the door. His mom answered, and I was like, "Hey, just want to let you know, your son was punching me and hitting me, and like that's not okay." And his mom literally looked me in the face and said, "I know," and because she was watching through the window, and I was like, "Oh, okay." And she goes, "Yeah, but what are you gonna do about it?" That's what she said. Like just like that, right? And I just kind of like looked over and I was like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what you mean? Like, I just fought your son. Like, I'll go punch him back if you want. And if you want me to fix it, I'll fix it, right? I can fucking knock your son's teeth out. Yeah. But I was hoping you were gonna, maybe you have an idea, Miss Adult, right?
Adult,
yeah. And she just looked at me and was like, so, like, look. And I think the last thing she said was like, maybe you shouldn't pick fights that you can't finish or some shit like that. And I was like, okay. So then we fought again. And then he ended up, like, I think he got like a bloody face or something like that, like, because we were going at it. And then he went inside the house all like limpy, and I don't think he was crying. He was a tough kid. But like, then his mom tried to get me in trouble. His mom tried to go to my mom. And, like, my mom worked 2 jobs, so my mom wasn't there. So I would go back to the house, and she knocked, and I opened the door. And she was like, where's your mom? And I go, not here. Bye. And I just closed the door. And she tried calling and shit. I just, like, this was back in the landline days, so I just disconnected the phone. I'm like, fuck you. Fuck off.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah. So I think it was like that. And I was probably, like, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, we weren't, like, fucking, like, tearing each other apart. But, we were, like, 7 and 8-year-olds.
Good hit. You got a few good hits.
Yeah. It was more so like we're on the floor, like pushing each other and shit, like on the gravel.
You need to put that like on a T-shirt or like get it tatted. You're like young and angry.
Young and angry. Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's what I remember thinking after that day. I'm like, oh man, like just because you're an adult doesn't mean you got my back as a kid. It doesn't mean you have you know what's going on. And then like further along, it got even more obvious. Like if you grew up where I grew up, you would see drugs everywhere. You would see like prostitutes. You would see, I had a friend that his mom was a sex worker. Mm-hmm. I had friends whose sisters were like strippers and things like that. So there's no shame coming up. Like there's nothing to be ashamed of. I'm not like demonizing it. But you see a lot of stuff, right? So you would see a lot of drugs. You would see there would see pimps. Like we would see pimps all the time. Actually, pimps in my neighborhood or in the adjacent neighborhoods would be the ones that would like teach kids stuff. It would be like the pimps that would be like, this is how you handle yourself with police. This is how you blah 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 blah. This is how you know what to avoid or blah blah blah. There were some people that would come up to us and be like, don't take anything from this person because this person blah blah blah. Like so it's very complicated. But like it was one of those things where I would realize as I grow older, I'm like, oh yeah, adults don't fucking know anything.
Yeah,
like
literally.
They really don't. Like, I'd go to school in middle school. That was the first school that I went to that was outside of my neighborhood, and like I had teachers that would buy weed from the students. That would, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, y'all ain't shit. Like, y'all ain't shit at all. So then just a lot of other little examples like that to where I was like, oh, okay. Like, I get it. Like, this world is crazy and nobody knows what the fuck is going on. And I think most kids, if they get confronted with that, most kids that get really upset because they're like, fuck, like, this is not what they said it was supposed to be. But it was the opposite for me. I got like really empowered because if you don't know what's going on, that means I don't have to know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I got really creative. Whereas most people would look at that and be like, oh my God, like, what am I supposed to do? And like have anxiety and like feel lost and this and that. I'm like, oh, it's on. If my teacher's a scumbag, shit, I don't have to live up to any of your expectations. I don't have, you know what I mean? If my teacher, if my neighbor, if my authority figure, if the cop is a scumbag, like,
It's true.
that means you're the bar and your bar's down here. Man, fuck off. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So I started getting creative. I would do a whole bunch of crazy shit. I wouldn't listen to rules. Wouldn't do homework. I wouldn't, like for what? What are you gonna do?
Literally.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna tell me to fight your son again? Like what? Like, So for me, it was actually an incredibly empowering realization. Mm-hmm. But I know a lot of people that go through that realization and they have like an identity crisis. They're like, I don't know who to trust, and they have like,
they spiral.
Yeah, they spiral because they're like, I don't know who's supposed to protect me, and I'm like, I don't need protection. It's cool. Like, I'm just glad that if an adult comes up to me and tries to make me feel bad about whatever, it just falls right off of my. It just goes into one ear and out the other. I'm like, I'm not listening to you. You ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I treated most of the adults when I was growing up. It wasn't up until I was in my like late teens that I started to be around adults that I actually respected, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll fucks with y'all. I'll fucks with some of y'all. And then in my 20s, I started getting like some friends that I was like, okay, so the world is still crazy and the world is still ambiguous, but like it's gray now. It's not necessarily that all of y'all are bad. It's that like we all have a little bit of bad.
Yeah.
And we all have the capacity for good. So then I would meet people that were like coke addicts, but that would like do the like turkey giveaway on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I would meet people that were like alcoholics, but you know, always like 100% would do anything for their kids. You know what I mean? So it was like really like it just matured, I guess. Like the real world is gray.
Yeah.
The real world is like crazy gray. You'd be surprised how many people are out there like doing scumbag shit, but that are like decent people.
Yeah.
Just bad habits and like pain. There's a lot of pain. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
People are in pain. People are in pain and they're hurting and they self-medicate. And they either self-medicate with like habits or with substances or with relationships or with, you know, their job or, you know what I mean? Like, I like most of us are just hurting all the time. And we're trying to figure out a way to like not be in pain. And once I realized that, I was like, okay, I'm not gonna be just that mean to adults.
Yeah. Once you realize
you know what I mean?
it
Like
too,
once you
you're
realize
like,
it, because then I was in
ooh.
that boat too. I'm like, man, I'm in pain, or I'm hurting, or I don't like my life, or I don't this and that, blah blah. So then I start to like look for shit to like numb me out. You know, I start to look for shit to feel like, you know. And then it's different shit. Sometimes it was weed. Sometimes it was this. Sometimes it was alcohol. Sometimes sometimes it was women. Sometimes I'd be around women even though I knew they were bad for me, just because I'm like, man, I just like the rush that you give me.
Yeah.
Because you're kind of crazy and toxic, and I like that shit. You know. At the time, don't come at me talking about, you know, some spicy ass shit. I don't fuck with y'all like that anymore. You know. Back the fuck up. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
But at the time, like, you know, I was in toxic relationships, and I was like, there's something like really invigorating about this. I don't like some of it, but then some of it is like really exciting. Like, you always keep me on my toes, and like, it's easy for me to like let go of all my troubles because I have to deal with your crazy ass. You know.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think I saw this thing where they say like if you feel a rush for someone or like butterflies, that it could just be like past traumas that like are resurfacing.
Shit. Damn.
So like that's why it's just like I'm not sure which one would be right. I mean, everyone can choose their own, but it's like I see where that relates to, because it's like I think about like past people that I've met and I've dated, and I'm just like, I did feel like different. Like, you know, like my identity like was completely different when
That's
I was
crazy.
like dating someone, or I dealt with situations differently than I like would as like me myself like single. And it's just like it's your energy, like it's you, like you resurfaced past like either
Your trauma bonding or some
traumas
shit,
or
yeah.
you resurfaced something that like is not good for me and all that. So yeah, that's probably where your rush came from. Like,
Oh, I know exactly what you're That bitch is crazy. That's a crazy ass hoe, like for sure. Like we were toxic.
Yeah.
But like the thing about, especially with romance, like the thing about romance is that if it's exciting, like okay, let's put it like this: chemistry exists between people. That's just a fact. It doesn't matter if you're a bad person or a good person. Like there's natural chemistry that exists because of personality traits. Like you might have a very specific personality, but you make bad choices in life. Not you specifically, just giving an example, right?
Yeah.
You have a specific personality character type, but you can make great choices, right? And the same with me, vice versa, everything in between. So even if you like things that I hate, even if you're in a profession that I hate, even if you, right? If you have a natural type of personality that I, for some reason, I'm like, what is this? Like, why do I keep, like, why does it aggravate me to like be around you, but I can't stop being around you, right? Like there's a personality trait there that like, it happens in movies all the time. Like whenever like the guy's mean to the girl or the girl's mean to the guy at first and they don't like each other, and then all of a sudden there's like a, you know, a moment, a love-hate relationship, the entire dynamic, right? Where they like they obviously have a lot of chemistry.
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So chemistry exists with people, and oftentimes whenever you're younger, or I mean, shit, even when you're older, like fucking dudes be having midlife crises and buying like Corvettes and trying to like talk to 25-year-olds, like
Yeah.
So, the thing about chemistry is that like if you have chemistry with somebody and it's natural and it feels natural, it is like intoxicating, even if it's bad.
Yeah.
Even if like when y'all fucking, there's good chemistry. I'm gonna make it like actually nerdy. Like there's good chemistry where you make like fucking, what's the elephant paste thing where like it blows up and it's all fun and shit. And then there's bad chemistry where you start a fucking fire in the thing and the whole school has to evacuate.
Yeah. Like you have to leave right now.
You know what I mean? So there's good chemistry. There's like science experiment chemistry where all the kids are like, yeah, fucking fun, bubbles and shit, right? And then there's Walter White. And then there's a guy cooking meth in the basement and it's like, this is still fucking good though. You know? Yeah. So, and that works the same with romance. Like chemistry is chemistry, you know? And then there's other people that there's some people that you have no chemistry with that you guys would be compatible and you're like, sorry. Like we just not clicking. Like my shit doesn't get up at all. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I'm sure it works the same for girls. Like I don't feel nothing. Like
Not
doesn't matter.
thing.
Doesn't matter what you try to do. Like I'm looking past you right now.
You're not even here.
Yeah, it's not even here. I know the color of the paper towels in the other table right now.
Yeah.
That's what I'm noticing. I forgot what you were wearing. Yeah.
That's funny.
So that's why whenever it comes to toxic relationships, I'm like, look, I get it, dude. Like sometimes chemistry is just intoxicating.
Yeah.
So
just craziness.
that's insane. I don't know. I don't have any funny stories from whenever I was a kid though. I'm sure people would probably classify them as funny, but I don't internalize them as funny.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't know I wouldn't know how to like bring up a story. But do you guys have stories? Like traditionally like Mexican American stories that you're like, this has to happen to a lot of us.
Well, I would hope it didn't happen to a lot of people, but I think the way Cynthia and I are, like, where we joke about everything. It's how we get through life. Like, even through serious things, like, I have to throw a joke in. Like, I have to. Like, I can't be too serious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so I guess one that I think was really funny where, like, I feel like a lot of us Hispanics, I got, like, ass beatings, like, growing up with el cinto, with the escoba or something.
Escoba?
Which
Damn, my mom would not have lived to that escoba. That escoba is sacred.
Belts.
My mom was like, don't touch my shit.
But
my mom was serious about her escoba.
It's not funny that kids get beat, but we were one of them. And we just laugh about it now. It wasn't, like, extreme or anything, but it's definitely the way, like, my dad made us, like, scared of him and, like, made us listen. But one time we were at Walmart and I went with my mom and Cynthia went with my dad. It was only us two at the time. And I was joking around with my mom and, like, we were in the toilet paper section and I was, like, building a house, like, a little fort. And she's like, vente, like, te voy a dejar. And I was like, oh, she's not going to leave me. So, like, as a little kid, like, think about, like, the aisle with toilet paper. I would fit, like, you know, and be able to run through these toilet papers. So I was building, like, an empire. And they're like, I was having so much
A whole empire.
fun.
She remembers her reign. She was like, I'm calling this one.
I was having so much fun. Like, I even built, like a fucking pedestal and stuff for me to sit on. And I wanted to show my mom. Yes, a throne. So I wanted to show my mom. So, like, I don't know how long I was in there, but the last thing she had said, she's like, te voy a dejar. And then, like, I was in there for I don't know how long. And then I came out to show her, and she was gone. Like, I looked this way, this way. The aisle was empty as fuck. And as a little kid, you know, I'm like...
The whole she's like oh, shit.
There's no
shit
sound.
just got real.
No one, not even a stranger was in the aisle. Like, it was empty.
I love that I was like, at least I have toilet paper. I can survive. At least I have a home.
And just down the other aisle,
I was like, I should start building a bed right now.
But yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
fuck
sleeping
it.
here.
She was like, this is my life now. I'm toilet paper girl.
So I was running around looking for my mom. or like anyone, like her or my dad. Like I was like running around looking up at people. Like I was like a little tiny kid. Everyone was like huge and like scary to me. And I was just looking for a familiar face. And then I hear over the intercom, like Alondra Solis, like, come, your parents are waiting for you.
Damn,
in the
embarrassing.
front.
And you're just fucking.
And then I go to the front. And my dad looks so mad. I was so scared. I don't even know if I wanted to be found because I was scared. I was scared of what would happen if I would be found.
She made life decisions.
Like,
She was on the aisle. She sat back in her throne and was like, "Listen, do I want to go? Like now I know where they are. They're at the front." But now I'm about to get my ass beat. So so I could, if I theoretically I could run away, and I would never have to face this ass beat and this ass beating.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
I saw them and like I was like, I don't know how to feel, like happy, scared, like, you know, so like I just obviously I went home and my dad sat down and talked to me and I was like, oh no, like why is he not mad? Like I'm like, the fact that you're not screaming at me is like scaring me even more.
Damn.
You know?
You were like, this is a different punishment. I'm about to get sent home. I'm about to get sent to Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just like, mira, hoy no tengo energía. He's like,
Damn.
te chingo hoy o mañana. And
You're
I
like,
was
"Tomorrow,
like,
for sure."
mañana.
This is for sure. No,
And then-
no question about it.
And then I was like, mañana I'm gonna go to bed, okay? And like I went to
I'll
bed.
see you
I
later.
didn't cause any.
It was
like,
5 p.m.
noise.
2 p.m.
I didn't come out of that room. Like I didn't. Like I remember, I'm like, I have to be on my best behavior.
Cynthia's like, you want to go outside? She's like, no, it's okay. I'm actually good. I'm good. I like the lights in here. It's really
I
nice.
don't even remember what she was doing throughout all this, but
you weren't even clocked in.
I had to tell them to tell her to put the name on the intercom. I had to tell them. But I don't remember
Cynthia
what I did after.
Cynthia walks in like, here's some homework.
It's like, hey, I know you just got in trouble,
Like,
but
yeah, más tarea estúpida.
you still have homework.
Such a bully, dude. That's fucking
my
funny.
God.
I was a bully too. I used to lock my sister inside the cabinets.
oh my god,
We would play hide and seek, and she would get inside the cabinets, and I just put like a stick through so that she couldn't get out, and I would just chill. I
Leave
just,
her in there?
I just leave her in.
How
I
long?
don't know, a couple, 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she would always think she was winning. So she was
crazy.
she was a winner, okay?
Yeah.
In her head, yeah.
Yeah. So she always had a lot of pride. Okay?
That was funny.
No, I think my thing was classic. Like if we ever went anywhere, we went to Walmart or something, like my mom was like, as soon as we parked, mom was like, and don't ask me for shit. Like, and don't ask me for a goddamn thing, because the answer is no ahead of time. So if you get the instinct, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what we were getting. So like, and I remember that was a real feeling, because then I would go inside the thing and it'd be like it would start small. It'll be like a Snickers, and I'd be like, oh, I kind of want a Snickers.
Yeah.
Ask her if she wants it. Come on, Snickers is not that bad. But then like I'd get the Snickers and I would just like hold on to it, but like I wouldn't show her. It'd be like by the time we get to the cashier, maybe I could be like, in this one, right? But then I'd get to like the toys. I'm like, oh damn, but this toy's fly as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
you know?
I kinda went-
So then, and then she would see me sometimes and be like, don't even fucking think about it. Like, don't,
Yeah.
no. Like, I see you. I see what your eyes doing. I'm like, oh, but wait, what? And I just start going and be like, but mom, and this and that. And like, that's the only thing that would happen. I got left at Walmart one time, but it didn't, like, she actually left the store.
Oh my, I think you told us that when you were playing on the
I was playing on Nintendo 64 on there. I didn't have a Nintendo, so I was like going through a whole campaign. I was trying to beat story mode for sure. I was trying to go for it, and like,
Yeah.
and then she left. We didn't live that far, so she left, and then she came back. She was
Came
like,
back.
You were still there.
I was like, and when I realized it, they might have called my name out, but like some security guard was like, I think your mom's looking for you. I was like, damn, she probably is. Damn.
Can I finish the level?
Yeah, damn. I couldn't finish.
Yeah, can I log out, please?
So
my progress.
I was like, let me save my profile real quick for the next time I'm here. Yeah, and then she whooped my ass after. She's like, I told you, you made me come all the way back. I don't know if she actually went home, but she definitely went and put her groceries away
Yeah.
in the car. she definitely put the groceries in the car for sure. And then she came back in and she was like pissed the fuck off. But I think for me it was more embarrassing the fact that like it was a Hispanic neighborhood, so it was a whole bunch of Hispanic people also, and they would just laugh. Like, like if whenever my mom was like, you know, like yelling at me or whatever, like I would look around and other Hispanic, other Mexican moms would just look over and be like, yeah, like fucking kids are crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Or they would look at their kids and be like, ¿ves? Like,
Si no te portas bien.
like that's you too. Like don't fucking play. You like you think we won't, but his mom's a real one. You know what I mean? My mom would also threaten the cops on me. That's crazy. My mom would see a cop and be like, "Párale o le hablo a la policía." And I'd be like, "Damn, okay, chill, bro." Because like my dad is one thing, but the cops,
they instilled that. Like,
they got a uniform.
They literally like instilled that scared of cops in us since we're little. Like even as jokes, which is crazy.
Yeah,
that's wild. I don't think my dad ever told me he'd call the cops because I don't think it would benefit any of us.
My mom would say it like flagrantly, "Le voy a hablar a la policía," and I'd be like, "Chama, chill, relax, bro, relax with this and that." Yeah, and then we would see cops. I think we would see cops in our neighborhood all the time because they were trying to do dumb shit, harass us and shit. So immediately we're like, oh, "No, don't call the cops." This is fucking the whole thing. I remember I used to walk home. So like I went to school. I went to a charter school for middle school and high school. So 7th grade, I remember this like it was clear, like again, bad neighborhood, bad stuff everywhere, gangs, anything you could think of, but any stereotype that you think about, like a inner city, low income neighborhood, that's what the neighborhood was. So I would get there was a community center that was like 10 minutes away from my house, so walking distance. And I would get picked up there for school, and I would get dropped off. My school started at 7:45 a.m., like almost 8 a.m. Mm-hmm. So and it was an hour away. So I had to be at the bus stop at like 6. And my school, since it was a charter school and they went through their own rules, we didn't get out of school at least until I think like 6th grade through 9th or 10th grade till 5 o'clock at night in the afternoon. So we went through the whole thing, and then. If you stayed for extracurriculars, then you would do 5 to 6:30, and then at 6:30 you would take the late bus, and I wouldn't get back to my stop until probably like 7:30. And I was lucky that the late bus, the second stop of the late bus was my stop. Was my regular bus stop because it was like a central location for everybody. So I'd get home at I get to the bus stop at like 7:30 at night. 13 hours later. And then think about like when daylight savings happens, like it gets so dark so quickly. So I would get to the bus stop already dark, had to walk home, and we would have a backpack with all our books in it, right?
Yeah.
So I would often get stopped if I didn't get stopped by like local, like not gang members, but like just other teenagers or like in their 20s and stuff that thought that like I had drugs or something, and then they would stop me, they would jump me, they would like get my backpack and then throw it on the floor, and they realized it was just like books and homework and shit and call me a nerd and then like, just leave. If it wasn't them, it was the cops. Because the cops would also think that I was walking around with this big ass bag or a duffel bag or whatever, blah, blah, and they would think that I had some bullshit. So then they would just stop. And then I remember they would just go, like they would just immediately just corner me, and I wouldn't even have to say anything. And this is why whenever people talk about like, well, cops don't do that, I'm like, yeah, bullshit. Like some cops do. It depends on the neighborhood, but like I remember when they would pull up, they didn't even have their lights on. So it wasn't like they were like on alert. They would just pull up and stop, and I immediately knew like, oh, okay. So then I would just like stop. I would put my stuff down. They didn't even have to say anything. They were on the way getting out of their car, and I would just do it because I already knew. I was not like I'm going to try to like argue with them. So I take my stuff off, and I would immediately just like go to the fence and like put my hands there, and I'd just be like, look guys, I'm just trying to walk home, like blah, 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 this and that. And they'd be like, shut the fuck up, blah, 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 this and that. And they wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't try to tell me what's going on. They didn't ask me questions. They would just get my bag, and they would just start like, looking through it. And then they'd like pat me down. And then if they didn't find anything, they would just get back in their car and they would leave. Like it was like a maybe 5-6 minute interaction, but like very little words were said. We just knew. Yeah. Right? So we had interactions like that with the cops. So whenever my parents would be like, oh, le voy a hablar a la policía, I'd be like, not those fuckers. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, like no, okay, fine, I'll listen to you. Yeah. It's better than those dudes thinking that they're all high and mighty and shit. You know? Yeah. But then by the time that we were in our late teens, early 20s, when the cops showed up, it was a different story because then we would get feisty with them.
Yeah.
Like I have a long history of like telling cops off, especially once I know what their job really is, and like, man, I get spicy as hell. I remember I would get like, I'd be like, oh, 'cause when I graduated high school, I graduated pretty close to the top of my class, so I was going into college and I was a decent academic student. So then like anytime a cop would give me a hard time, I'd be like, oh yeah, sorry, Mr. High School Diploma, you'll be all right. Like, yeah, dude, yeah, do whatever. And I would talk so much shit to cops. And then whenever they would get spicy with me and I'm like, oh, my bad. I thought that this was a free country and I could just say whatever you had that I could say whatever. And you had to shut the fuck up because you're on the job right now. You're clocked in. Like, and I would just, and I would just go off, bro. I would go off and be like, it's okay. You don't have to understand. I know you didn't read the Constitution because you just graduated high school barely. And like, you know, and you had to go into a trade job. Like, I would go off on these cops, bro. I would go off and they would get so pissed off with me. But I'd be like, but you're the one stopping me for no reason. You didn't even tell me why you were stopping me. You didn't even tell me what I was doing wrong. You didn't tell me a damn thing. And they would just, you know, it was like they knew I loved them.
That love, toxic relationship.
Toxic chemistry. going back to chemistry. No, it's funny, but yeah, I don't know if I have any like really really funny story. Like, I think that I grew up around so many Hispanics that a lot of things that are like, I realized way later, like that are stereotypical about us. I didn't realize they were stereotypical. It's just normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I think it's like, well, because we loved watching Super Ego. Did you ever watch him when he had a YouTube? Really?
No.
Oh my gosh, you need to. He has like a whole YouTube channel. I don't know if he does them now, but like when we were younger and when we had YouTube and that was like the main thing you could watch on a computer, it's all we watched. And he would do like, you know, your Mexican win and like he'd dress up with his friend and stuff. And one was the mom, que le chingaba con la chancla and stuff. Or like...
Yo, that chancla shit is real.
It's so real. And they never miss. Never miss.
Have you seen that video of that mom throwing the chocolate like long distance and still hitting the kid?
Yes. The black sandal, whatever.
Yeah. She had an arm on her. She was like, I'm gonna hit because I'm gonna hit.
So funny. That is so funny.
Yeah, that chocolate shit is real, bro. I was never that scared of it, but I remember like it was just annoying. Like,
yeah,
it's like, oh god. Like, I remember I called my mom a bitch one time, and my dad heard me, and I got my ass. Well, I got kicked out of the house.
Damn.
That day was the first time I got kicked out of the house. I didn't come back till 2 weeks later, and they didn't give a fuck. My dad didn't give a fuck. My mom cared. My mom was all like, let him back. And he was like, no. This is out of principle. He needs to know he can't talk to my woman like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it was rough, man. It was rough. I was like couch hopping, and then all my friends' moms were like, when are you going home? And I was like, see, what happened was that it's okay if you don't know, but like I can't go back right now. Yeah, but like it was one of those things where actually, that was kind of unique about my dad specifically. Like, my dad would always tell me, when you have a relationship and you're about to have kids or this and that, like, people say, like, oh, my kids are the most important thing in life. And I get that. Like, that's 100% true because you want to do everything right by your kids. You want to take care of your kids. So like, but you have a responsibility to your kid. Mm. You also have a responsibility to your significant other. And the thing is that the responsibility for your significant other will outlast the responsibility for your kid. Because after a certain point, the responsibility for your kid changes. They're going to be grown. They're going to be finding life on their own. Hopefully you prepared them right, and then they go off and they're good civilians, right? But your relationship, the responsibility to your significant other, that's different. So, like, you need to make it clear, like, that's your priority. So he would always he would tell us, like, wait, if it comes down to it, if I have to choose you or her, I'm choosing her. And he would tell us that all the time. All the time. So I remember I didn't even call her a bitch to her face. I was like, she didn't let me do something. Like, she didn't let me go out somewhere or something like that. And I was just walking away, and I was like 4 rooms away from her. She didn't even hear me say it, but he was in the other room with the door slightly open working on something, and I was like, fucking bitch, like that, because you know what I mean? I was just an angry child. Yeah. And my dad goes, hey, and I was like, oh damn. And I just stopped, and I just like waited for it. He walked out of the room, he fucking grabbed me, he kind of beat my ass, and he was like, get the fuck out of my house. You know, like, you're gonna learn today you can't talk to my woman like that. And that's how he said. He didn't say your mom. He said, you can't talk to my woman like that. And I was like, oh damn, you're right, my bad.
That's
My
great.
bad.
My shit.
My
Let's
bad.
go.
Yes, yeah, for real.
Can
He's
at
like,
least grab my
he was like,
bag.
you got like 5 minutes before I punt your ass out of here.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
And my mom was like, no, Juan. My dad's name is also Juan. But so I was like, no, Juan, like, no, don't be fucking extra like this and that. My mom was like trying to put him in his place too. And he was like, I said what I said. He is not here. No more. And I was like, damn. That's crazy. And the only reason I came back to the house was because I came back to get clothes. Like I snuck into my own house to get clothes so that I can leave again. And my mom was there and she goes, you're not leaving, stay here. And I was like, no, that's cool. I don't need, like, whatever, I'm cool. Like I could be out of here. It's not a problem. And then she was like, no, you're gonna stay. And then she just made me food. And then my dad was in the kitchen, like eating food, like doing something. And I looked at him and he looked at me and I kind of looked at him like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to say? He goes, if I don't let you stay, she's going to whoop my ass. So so then I stayed after that. But if it were up to him, I wouldn't have stayed. Like, that's how big the infraction was. Like, you don't get to disrespect her around me. So, and I remember that. That still stays in my head, like, all this time. Like, his priority was always her. 100%.
Dang.
We were, like, secondary. Which kind of sounds bad. Because people like to say, like, oh, my children are everything and, blah, blah, blah. But to him, it was like, nah. Like, I'd be dead without her. So if you don't
Most men.
get it right,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you don't, like...
Yeah.
And he would tell her, too. He'd be like, you can leave me whenever you want. Like, I know I ain't shit. But me without you, and I won't make it. You know what I mean? And he would say it to us, too. Like, she can leave whenever she wants. Like, again, women are property. Like, women, you can't just hold that over people like that. If she wants to leave, she can go. But I know she is too good for me. So whatever she needs, we're gonna try to make it happen. It's crazy
That is crazy.
because that's not a lot of the experiences that like Hispanics have with like macho men and shit.
No, yeah.
Like
Not at all.
a lot of men are like, no, I was like fucking do what I say. I'm the one that pays the bills and this that blah 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 this and that. My dad was not like that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say like our dad, it was always like, hey mom, can I go do this? Like, yeah, but ask your dad.
Damn.
Like he had the final saying,
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Where it's like, and I was like, pero like, like you're my
Like,
mom.
why?
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
like you gonna let him make the rules whenever you fucking run this bitch? Like
And
you try to gas up your mom?
And I think it comes down to where it's like if you had a dad that wanted to control you and didn't want to let you out, like our dad didn't want to let us out, but I think it came out of more like wanting to protect us because we, like I said, we were in a white town where he's just like, now being an adult, I see it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like after seeing what the real world looks like, they are immigrants, and all that. So it's just like, I see the big difference, like, you know, and they didn't speak English and they couldn't defend themselves if anything came down. They couldn't defend themselves, so they couldn't defend us, like their kids. So I see it now why he wanted to like control us and like, I don't want you to make bad decisions and like ruin your future and do this or end up dead or end up in jail. I see it now. But when I was a little kid, like I was like, this man's just trying to control me. Like, you know, I feel like for me,
Just trying to control.
He wants
That's
full
crazy.
control of me.
yeah, well, because I feel like I always had like my shits like straight, like all my like, my priorities.
You were a good kid.
Were like I feel like like me and Zay have a lot of stories like we would like mess with each other and like be mean, fight, and like cause like drama and stir up shit in the house. But like outside of the house, we were like really chill. Like we didn't do anything bad.
Yeah.
And
She was
So-
the best. I think she was the best child,
Damn.
to be honest.
And they still didn't let you do it. Go out.
But yeah, they were like so much harder. Like, well, my dad was much harder on her. I just like,
It's probably because you were he probably saw a lot of
Probably,
potential in you, and he probably was like, I
yeah.
can't. You're like precious to him.
Yeah.
You know.
she
But
didn't see it though.
I didn't see it.
Yeah,
that
at the
way.
time, you can never
I saw
see
it
it.
like this man doesn't want to see me like
Have
do
fun.
good.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like he wants to hold me back and stuff. But yeah, like I remember like I had to there was a day where I was always a full-time worker in college, full-time student, full-time worker, and I was able to like buy my first car, and I remember it was like my first year in college, and I was like, okay, all my homework's done. I took this day off work, like, you know, I usually work all weekends because on college that's when you do work.
Yeah.
And I was like, my homework's done. All my friends got the night off. I got the night off. I have money. I have a car. Like, you know,
Let's
like,
go. Let's fucking get lit.
You know?
And Cynthia's like, here's some homework.
Wait.
But yeah, so I told him, I was like, hey, like, I'll be back later. And he
Oh,
was
you were
just
still living
like,
with your parents?
Yeah, like my first year in college, I lived with them.
They're not letting you go.
And then I was no, hold on. This is gonna change. This day changed history.
Oh, here we go. Go for it.
So I was just like, my mom, like, I dressed up and everything. She's like, oh, you look so pretty. Where are you going? And then I told her, and my dad overheard. Like, so me telling her, I'm like, I'm basically telling you.
Yeah,
that I'm
you
leaving,
said it
right?
loud enough. You're like, I'm going to the
Yes.
I'm going to the fucking club over here.
I'm gonna-
Stutter.
Yeah.
So then I was like, yeah, and I was like, and I might stay like the night with like my friend or something, like, right? So I was really,
Damn, you really pushing it. You
Yeah.
said
I
today is
went-
the day.
I said all or nothing, like all.
You didn't
or
even go
nothing.
halfway. Didn't want to call them in advance. Like when you got there, like, hey, like it's late. Might as well let me stay. Like you didn't want to
Yeah.
ease into it.
I went for it, and I was just like, because like I said, I was like, all my shit straight. Like, I mean, I'm passing all my classes, my homework's done, I have time off. Like,
Yes.
what is the problem? Like, why could I not go?
And you were what, like 19?
Yeah,
20?
so I was just like, 19, and they knew I was moving out like the next year, and like I was close to graduating with my associates and stuff, so I was just like, what's the problem? Like, you know, I felt like going up to my dad, like, you got a problem, dude?
Damn.
Like, really? Like, you got a problem? And, but I mean, we're all great now. I love my dad. We're on great terms, great relationship.
But then
now.
what happened? What did he say?
So he was like, no, tú no vas a ir a ningún lugar.
Classic.
And then I was just like,
Classic.
I might as well just get that tattooed on me about
fucking
the
classic.
mountains.
Just
No vas a ir.
No vas a ir porque no vas a
Porque
ir.
no vas a ir. Y ni para allá ni que tus nalgas. Like,
No, my dad would be like, no me estés chingando.
Yeah,
He's like,
no
no me
chingas, yeah.
estés chingando.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I remember like I was holding back tears, and I was like, because it was just multiple times where I'm like, I missed out on things, and I was like, I'm so tired of missing out on things, like with my friends. So then I told them, like, I was about to walk back to my room, and then I was like, no. I was like, I'm gonna stand right here and I'm gonna tell him everything. Like, I was like,
Damn.
like I literally said, I was like, voy a ir porque ya terminé mi tarea. Tengo dinero para gastar.
damn, but you didn't say it with
Y-
this much gusto. Your voice was cracking a little bit.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think from what I remember, because like after I told him and I was like, voy a ir, and I was like, y voy a tener cuidado. Like, no te preocupes, pero voy a ir porque voy a ir. Tengo todo lo que necesito. Like, all my priorities are straight.
Talk to him.
You don't got to worry about me. Like, you know,
Yeah.
like I'm cool. Like, and I'm not gonna come home. Like,
what did
I'm
they
gonna
say?
be back tomorrow. And then I just remember, like, I don't even think he said anything. Like, I just left.
Yeah, she did.
And
She
then,
just opened the door and left.
and then I was just like, I remember sitting in my car. I don't think I remember it because I was so scared. Like,
You're
at
like-
the time, maybe.
Turning on the door.
You're like, well, I might not want to leave right now. I'm a little worked up.
Well,
It's like I
because-
feel like I'm under the influence.
Because it was like, since I was like 19, like I was like, what is he gonna do? Like, give me like an ass beating? Like, that's not gonna work on me this time. Like, I'll call the cops on you this time.
I know all the tricks.
I'll call the cops. So yeah, no, I left, and he never, like, he gave me permission to do everything. Yeah.
After that?
Yeah, I never, like, I would even leave without telling him and stuff, like,
Yeah.
because I think he realized, like, yeah, like, you're right, she's never given me problems. Why am I wanting to hold her back? She's gonna leave, and
Yeah, he probably said to himself, if I keep putting myself in front of her desires, then she'll leave and she won't come back.
Yes,
Like,
and
period. Like, she won't wanna
it's
be around
such
me.
It's such a common story that
Yeah.
like happens in a Hispanic culture. It's like the dad is so controlling, and it's like, you can't do this, you're not gonna do this, or like, you're gonna go to school and do this. Like, trying to control. My dad was never like that. He just wanted me to go to school in general and like
Yeah.
be better than
He's just
Pete,
protective,
him,
yeah.
right? But I know other stories too, like where it's like the dad mainly is so controlling, where it's like he's trying to pick and choose where you're going to college, what you're going to study, and like, you're going to do this,
Who
because
you
you're gonna
date,
do
who you
it.
can't date, who you
Yeah.
like, where you can go, who's gonna be there. Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's when you get
I know a lot of
like
those stories too.
like girls that end up running away and have a
Hell yeah.
baby, and like, you don't even hear from them. Like,
Yeah, or they just don't have a relationship with their father.
Yeah.
They can't stand their father,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Yeah.
I had that changed the history moment for me was like at 15. It wasn't even. I was like, bye, I'm leaving, and I did. I left. It was whenever I got my first contract. So it was. I was actually traveling and going for work. But like, they had already talked. They had already known. But like, I was leaving, and they were really worried. But in my mom's mind, she was like, he can either go on this thing, go with this sponsor, and go with this on this contract to go do something that he loves to do and he's getting paid, or he can stay here and run the risk that every other kid is taking in this bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
Where who knows what can happen. My kid can end up on the news. My kid can end up doing something crazy. My kid could end up at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, so it was easy for her. She was like, yeah, go do it. So I think probably we're like late 15, about to turn 16 is whenever I was essentially like out of the house. I wasn't there. And then whenever I was back, I would just go in and out.
Yeah.
I would just come in. I'd be like, all right, I'm out. I'll see you guys later. Maybe I'll come back, the next day. My mom sat me down. I was like, okay, we know we're not going to stop you, but like, you got to tell us where you are. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And this was before phones. I didn't have a phone until I was 17. Like, I didn't have a cell phone until I was like, because my parents couldn't afford it. And back then it was like, this is the age gap, I guess, right, between us. Like, it was like you had to buy minutes.
Oh yeah.
You had to like buy a block of minutes, and like they were expensive as shit. Like, you know
Or,
what I
like,
mean?
you only
Unlimited
had,
wasn't a
like-
thing. Unlimited was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, we're not doing that shit. Like, we didn't have cable. I was just realizing this. I'm gonna segue. I was just realizing this the other day. Like, whenever we were like, basic cable was like $60.
Yeah.
And then like anything added on, HBO, Stars, Cinemax, Showtime, blah blah, was added on. Like, you would end up paying like $100 something a month for like the premium package with HBO y todo, like DirecTV, whatever, blah blah blah. And I'm like, holy fucking crap. And then I'm like, man, thank God that we're living in the digital age now. Like, everything is streamable, but this and that. But then I ran through the motherfucking numbers, and I was like, man, we're pretty much back to where it was before.
Yeah,
Like, Netflix
everything
is
is like
$20. How much is Netflix? Like $24, something dollars.
And they just upped
And
it.
then Hulu is another 10, 15. Disney's
Without
another
ads.
20. Without, that's the other thing. We back to commercials. I'm like, the whole reason we got streaming is so that there wasn't commercials. And now every streaming service is back to putting commercials on them fucking things for the basic package. And then
Premium.
we get an episode a week now. What the fuck?
know.
I thought the reason that we left that shit is because now you give me all the episodes. I'm planning a protest because this is crazy. I'm paying almost $100 something on all of the fucking the streaming services, and then I'm sitting there watching a commercial. I'm like, guys,
And then you have to pay Wi-Fi.
And you have to pay
Like, on
and you have
top
to pay
of it.
Wi-Fi. I'm
To
like,
get-
Yeah,
Guys,
we're probably worse.
now.
we're probably
We're
worse than we
now.
were before. Although now we get to pick what we want to see.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was like, damn, like I wonder
gotta
if
wait till
HBO
it's
is
on.
showing the movie that I
Sure,
want to
yeah.
see. You know what I mean?
Isn't it crazy, like, how when, like, I remember being, like, little, and it's like, oh, it's Monday night. I have to remember at, like, 7 p.m.
Yeah.
my favorite show is going to be on.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you missed it, before, like, the recording was a thing, because that was, like, later on, I feel like. But whenever you had to make it to your TV show at this certain time, you know? If not, you missed it. And you're
Yeah,
like, damn.
I was still part of the generation where like you had to show up at a certain time, and then as soon as the show was over, you would get on the call with your friend Like,
Yeah,
bro, did
and
you
talk
see?
about
Like,
it.
bro, it's crazy. And it was the landline, so the cord was just stuck. So you were just in some random part of the house talking about.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God.
yeah. Talking
Standing,
about what
like, with
happened
your foot
on
the wall or
yeah. That's the generation. And then you're like, man, I wanna see what's going on, but you couldn't get online because then it would be like that.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be like the AOL shit. Like, man, I'm not getting on the internet. Fuck
I
all that.
remember our dad got his like the first flip phone, and me and her found it. He hid it from us on purpose because he was like, well, we have no use for it. We were so little, but we found it. And we started messing with it, and we're like, who should we call? And
Damn.
we literally called 911.
Yeah.
And then the cops show up?
The cop showed up. Of
course.
And then he's just like he was all chill and stuff in front of the cops. And then we were just like, I'm sorry, like my dad got a new phone and this is the only number we knew. And
Yeah, we told the truth.
number.
We really did.
I mean, what else? You're not gonna lie.
I mean, yeah, we're not
No,
gonna-
we didn't call.
yeah,
They'll put your dad in jail for
Yeah, I know.
for thinking that he's doing something to you.
yeah, I know. Which, I mean, I look back and I'm like, thank God we had a good cop that was like not like he didn't like question too much, because he did like stay and like was like looking at us. I
He had a cup of
remember, like,
coffee and shit.
because I kind of like, you know.
He's like, well, since I'm already here, what y'all
Yeah.
making in there?
So yeah, and then like he saw like that we were like fine, and like I think mainly it was that we spoke English and we were able to explain to it. But if it was like up to my dad, I think it would have maybe.
He probably saw you feel guilty too. He probably saw like, oh my
Yeah.
bad.
What was
Fucked
it?
up.
I know.
I called 911 once also, and the cops showed up. My dad was pissed the fuck off. I was pissed the fuck
Dude,
off
my
because I
dad-
just called and they were like, hello, and I was like, yeah, that exists. Like, they're there. I just wanted to make sure. I'm like, I wonder if they're there right now. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and we
show
thought
up.
too. We're like, oh, before they even like answer, they won't come.
They
But, like,
won't come.
They literally track it
They
the
got
minute.
shit. They got
you
shit.
put.
They got shit to do, and they showed up. They called, and so my dad opened the door, and he goes, and like the moment he sees the cops, he goes, "Fucking shit!" And the cops were like, "Okay, something must be wrong." He goes, "No, this fucking kid just
Called
called the cops, called you guys," and I'm in the back like, I don't even know what face I would have made like. My bad. Some little Mexican ass kid, like fucking all scrawny and shit, like just like just in the back with some like fucking with some baggy ass shorts and like a fucking like tank top, like a white beater, and just
Yeah. Them all said, you know?
yeah, like, I haven't had a haircut in like fucking weeks. Like that's fucking, you know, like the stereotypical Mexican ass kid, like you know,
It's
like
like
that
that
runs
one-
around in chanclas outside, just fucking
Yeah.
running around. This is the whole street, like calluses on their foot. You can like take the concrete. That was me, just in the back, like my bad. And the cops look over like, oh yeah, we know who he is. He's outside, like, because we patrol, like, there's the same cops that patrol
Oh,
our
yeah,
area.
it does.
So they were like,
Like, okay.
I was like, my bad. He's like, have a good night, sir. He goes, oh, we'll be all right. And then as soon as he closed the door, he's like, what the fuck did I tell you? This and that, blah, blah, blah. I was like, my bad, G. My bad. I just wanted to know in case.
just in
Just
case.
in case. In case what? In case. You never know. Like, you know, shit is crazy out here.
You want to hurt me after
Yeah,
this?
I was like, might as well tell him to stay because you're a little violent right now.
I'm like, hey,
Yeah. Call him back. I'll call him back.
yeah, I'm like, I know the number.
They know where we live.
My dad told us, he's like, great, now they're gonna like star us on their map because you called, and now they're going
Damn,
to
that's crazy.
keep an heavier eye, like always like just gaslighting us.
Yeah, like lying to the
Crazy.
maps. And I was
Lying
just
for
like,
no
what the
reason.
heck?
I was like, they're not gonna be back at all.
Literally one time too, we were in the car and like he would say that if the car's behind us, like they have like a see-through fucking camera, and that like they would be able to see what we're doing in the car.
Damn.
So for the longest time when I got my car, I'm like, okay, straight
Straight up,
like,
that posture,
you
right?
Can't do anything.
Like a
'cause
posture,
I
right?
literally thought it until I was like probably 17. I'm like, what the heck? Why did I think that was true?
Tell them about the turning signals.
The turning signal. Oh my God. Yes. He's like, hey, I was like learning how to drive. I was like, so what happens if you don't use your turning signals? And he's like, the car's just going to go straight.
So you were like, fuck, like I gotta always do
I'm
it.
like, oh my God, I always have to do it. So, and
Yeah,
I drove a big Tahoe too at the time. So I always did it.
You felt
and
it
then,
lock a little bit. You're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. And then,
Like, It was the curve, but like you were like, it's because my turning signal wasn't on.
I don't even know. I think I learned that was a lie pretty soon, to be honest.
good,
But
yeah.
like I remember when I was really getting behind the wheel, I'm like, oh my god, I have to turn. I have to remember to do this. Yeah.
So
like, you
it's
just
fun.
lie.
So I was in 4th grade when 9/11 happened. So I remember it. I have memories of 9/11, not because I was like in New York or anything, like one of those memories. But I remember like we had the TVs in the corner of the room on the like top. They were like on the little thing. There's like giant TV, and it just cut on, and then it just started playing the thing, and they were like, it was like a national broadcast, and and the teacher was fucking freaking out and this and that, and the kids were like, what the fuck, like, you know?
Yeah, like what?
We're like, we don't even know that place, like whatever, right? Like we're like some kid in the back, like I'm hungry, like, you know, like some typical Hispanic ass, you know, elementary school, you know, like, you know. And think about what your kids would do if they turned on and they saw 9/11 right now. That's what was going on in my classroom, right?
Yeah.
No.
So then kids started getting picked up because nobody knew what the fuck was going on. It was a scary time. So kids started getting picked up. When I tell you I was the last one to get picked up, actually I didn't get picked up. I stayed the whole day in school, whole day, because it happened in the morning, like 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Whole day by myself, just me and a teacher. And they're like, are you sure your parents aren't coming? I'm like, they're not coming. Like, these people are not coming. They got jobs. Like, my dad has a job. My mom has 2 jobs. Like, they're not coming. Like, how are they going to get here? They can't even get here. Like, the only reason I'm here is because the bus got me here. Like, I'm not, they can't come over here. What the fuck? So I got on the bus by myself. I was the only one that made that poor bus driver work so that I could go home. I got home. Fucking, my mom wasn't home. My dad was definitely not home. My dad got home at like 8 p.m. I was already there, just like fucking bored watching TV. My mom gets home a little after that. And I'm like, like they walk in the house and I'm like, my mom was like walking in with groceries, like fucking has to cook dinner and shit. I'm like, what happened? And they're like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you didn't pick me up from school today. And they were like, why? It's fucking Tuesday. I don't know what it was, right? But it's like, why wouldn't we pick you up? You're crazy, like, you know. And I was like, because of what happened in New York. And my mom was like, and she just got back to work. And my dad like turned on the TV and his this and that. And I'm like, look at all this. Like, all of my friends got picked up. Everybody was scared. Like the teacher was freaking out, this and that. And he grabs me and he sits me down. He points at the TV and there's the Twin Towers are falling and shit. All they could talk about. And he goes, that is not happening in Second Ward, Houston. That is a message for white people, not for us. To like the exact words that he said. He goes, that ain't nobody gonna, if that happened here, nobody would say anything. Like nobody would care. Like he's like, that is a message for white people. You think they knock down buildings so that Mexicans could get mad? Like, no, they knocked down buildings so that white people could do some shit. You know what I mean? And I remember like my dad was like hyper aware like that, and I was like, as a kid, I just wanted to know why I didn't get picked up at school. He's trying to give me a history lesson. He's trying to be like, no, this is what's happening in the world around us, right? And I'm just sitting there like, no, dog, you didn't pick me up from school,
like,
and that you're fucking missing the plot. I could have been home earlier today. You made me have to sit down with my 4th grade teacher for 8 hours, and she was freaking out the entire time. And I was like, Miss, it's not a big deal. You're gonna be okay. Like you're good. Like, you know what I mean? But I didn't know.
I mean, yeah, like you're trying to reassure her.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like, it's all good. It's all good. It's not a big deal. I'm sure it'll be okay. Like, you know what I mean? And she's freaking out. And then at the end of the night, my dad's like, that message wasn't for us. Like, you're good. Like, I don't have to pick you up for that. Like, ain't nobody trying to do that here. Like, we'd get no news coverage. And I was like, what? He goes, what happened to so-and-so? Because we had a neighbor that had gotten into some trouble. Like, what happened to so-and-so? Oh, well, it was like pretty bad. But wasn't that? Like, was he on the news? No. Okay, then. So then why would we be on the news? Like, no, you're good. Everything's normal here.
Like, it's fine.
Everything's fine. It's time to go. Just go to your room. Like, it was good. That's how my dad was at the time. That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I tell that story and people are like, man, that's kind of crazy. I'm like, yeah, but also like now that we're adults, like he's 100% right. Like ain't nobody trying to prove a point, trying to destroy lower income neighborhoods. If anything, the gentrifiers would be like, thank God somebody had to do it because we were thinking about a 5-year plan. 10-year plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So damn, see, now we get to get this started.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's
it was that's the kind of the kind of childhood that I remember having, which is apparently is pretty unique because I mean only people that really grew up in my neighborhood would be like, oh yeah, we remember that. But I'll say some stories sometimes and I'm like, oh yeah, like that's not normal. Like people did that was not normal for people.
Yeah.
But we're not normal, man. Like Mexican Americans, I get so. Do you guys follow superstitions, like Mexican superstitions?
I don't think so.
Because my family does, and it annoys the shit out of me. There's like so many superstitions that like they believe in that I'm like, what are we doing, guys? Like, guys, come on. Like, what are we? Like, my aunt was pregnant the other day, or not the other day, like a long time ago, and there was like a full moon, so they put the little the like clothespin or whatever like over her belly button, so that the baby would be okay. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? So they're like, yeah, we've got to do it so that the baby would be okay. I'm like, why wouldn't the baby be okay? It's like, it's a full moon. Guys, you need to connect some more dots for me because because what the fuck are we doing? And then they're putting my aunt was like waddling around with the fucking thing, and they're like, what is happening? Like, what does the full moon have to do with your baby? And like this and that, and they're like, no, it's just what we do. Like it's the thing, and I'm like, y'all are ridiculous. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But they follow a lot of them.
I think we fall more like in malujo, like if someone, but you know, like envy,
Like,
jealousy, all that stuff.
yeah.
I believe in that, but like, I've never even heard of that one.
Even the like cuando te soban with the egg. Like
I've never had that done to me, but I've seen it.
My mom had to do it to me, and I was literally like,
she was cleansing you.
Ma, I was like, Ma,
She's like,
come on. What the fuck? Like, what are we doing? It's like, hey, we could be eating that egg. Like, instead, you putting it all over my stomach and my head and stuff like this. I'm like, Mom, what are we doing? Like this and that. And then afterwards, she was like, you feel better? I'm like, no. I feel the same. I'm confused now because all you did was rub an egg on me, and I don't understand what the fuck is happening right now. And then afterwards, like, okay, we'll put some Vicks on it with some newspaper. And then so then she was just like put like Vicks all over my chest, and then put newspaper over it, and then put my shirt over it, and I just be there like with newspaper and shit, and I'm like, now I'm uncomfortable, like I can't do shit.
I have to shower.
Like no, like see now I couldn't fucking sleep, like everything was like hurt because it's like newspaper like on your. It's just crazy. Type in go online and type in Mexican superstitions so that you can see.
I've
like,
never heard of that. I've heard of the egg, but not that.
Superstitions. Look, see the first one that comes up is the pregnancy.
The first one.
The purse is on the floor. Like if you leave your purse on the floor, it means that just click it, down click it. What does it say? Oh yeah, you're inviting financial misfortune. Damn, pick it up. Nah, this one this one means you're not getting married.
I have seen that one.
Don't sweep a single woman's feet. All the ladies, make sure you're gonna because it means you're not gonna get married.
I've heard the
Or
one
like
with the tortilla too, like si se infla, like te vas a casar.
What's that one?
Damn, which one? Oh, la
Is
lechuza.
that
La lechuza. Owls are bad omens. See, right here. Particularly the lechuza, the witch owl. It's supposed to be a giant owl. It's probably some drunk uncle that was outside that saw an owl and be like, su madre, like, what the fuck is that?
What if it was like a big hawk or something?
What's the tortilla one?
Oh, tortilla superstition. Let's
What
go.
the heck? I've never.
Dropping a tortilla on the floor is considered a bad omen in Mexico and believed to lead to misfortune or bad luck. This superstition, like, aside, you should never drop a tortilla. It's good food going to waste. Okay, whatever. We know.
My mom told me like if you have to throw away any tortilla, you have to rip it into 4 before throwing it away.
What the fuck? For what?
I don't know, but I do it every time.
Now it's 4 dirty tortillas.
Well, and like, why is the tortilla like different from any other foods? Like, do I gotta rip frijoles up?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's all these little superstitions that they talk about that I'm like, guys, do we not hear ourselves?
My parents never believed in this. If anything, I feel like Cynthia and I were the ones who started to look into it more.
It wards off unwanted visitors and energy to keep your brooms upside down. I'm like, no. It wards off unwanted visitors because they look at your dirty ass, the broom upside down, and they're like, ooh, I don't want to go in there. She don't even use her broom.
I have heard the New Year's luggage.
Okay,
where
go
you're
that one.
supposed to.
You're supposed to walk in with luggage, right?
No. You're supposed to, like on New Year's, right? You're supposed to run down your
It's a
sidewalk.
street or a
Like
sidewalk,
you're
yeah.
supposed to run down with
Imagine that shit. Imagine be like it's Año Nuevo and shit, and you're just like you
I did do
go
it one year.
outside,
I did
and
do it
and
one
all,
year.
all these Mexicans outside are just running with luggage. You're like, did you miss your flight?
There's a really important one to remember, like being under the table too. It'll bring like a boyfriend and stuff like that. Or
Damn.
yes,
the
or like literally like the color of your underwear that you wear on New Year's defines what kind of year you're gonna bring in.
Look at that shit. That's the kind of superstition. I thought you guys said you didn't know any superstitions.
Okay, well,
I guess I do know
now I didn't think that they would be like. Well, when you said like followed, I thought more like what's like on like the
Here.
news or
Scroll
like
down,
anything
Brady.
like that.
Go right here to 25 superstitions that only Mexicans
Only
do.
Mexicans understand.
The thing's done.
Okay, we're almost done. You can't. What is it? Go up. You can't make tamales when you're angry. They won't fluff up right. That's crazy. You can make tamales
never
whenever
knew
you
that.
want. Chicken poop in your hair will make it stop falling and help the hair grow back.
What?
Absolutely
No,
not. That's some rancho ass shit.
Literally, we'll never do that.
If a child passes under your legs in one direction, they have to pass through again in the opposite direction, or they won't grow to their full height. How do they get punished if they did that shit to you?
But yeah, I know.
That's crazy, but
what if you run through a child and then you purposely don't run back so that they don't grow?
But what if that's
Yeah.
why like in
There's so many short.
there's so many short kings? We need to bring this up. Be like, did you ever run under?
Do you ever recall running around? We're taking a poll right now. All right, keep going. If a polla negra, a large member, enters the house, you have to sweep it out immediately, or someone will die shortly after.
Oh my
What the
gosh.
fuck? They what happened is they had mold in their house, and somebody got poisoned. They didn't. Okay,
That's
one more.
Crazy.
Sidral Mundet will cure stomach aches. Nope, I don't even know what that is. An aloe plant with red strings tied to each leaves will safeguard your home from evil. Oh, this is the like salvia or whatever.
Oh yes, yeah, I've heard of that.
To rid yourself of fear, eat a piece of sweet bread. Absolutely no. Placing an image of San Antonio upside down and asking him to help you will allow you to find lost items. When you find them, some Harry Potter ass shit right here. You must place him up right side up again.
Immediately.
I'd probably forget that he was upside down, and that's what I have to remember to do.
Well, he would remind you.
If you ask something to the Virgin of Tepeyec and she answers your prayers, you must climb to the Cerro de Tepeyec. Oh, hell no. Man,
I have heard
arthritis
things
and
like
shit.
this one, yeah.
This is some Stanley Yelnats on holes shit right there. When you hear the sound of sweet potato vendor, you have to turn your pockets of your pants inside out. Absolutely not. But you see what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? Like,
Like, where did these come from? To make flies go away? Why would there be flies?
you can place bottles of full water around trees or in gardens, and dogs won't pee there when they pass.
Bottles full of what?
Water.
But then, like, you gotta worry about picking them up when, like, the wind blows them down.
You see what I'm saying? Look, the point that I'm trying to make is that we as Mexicans need to progress. And we need to leave some of this shit behind because they got some crazy superstitions that my mom will be saying them sometimes, and I'm like, that makes absolutely no sense. Like, that's not gonna happen. You're gonna be fine. Like, like, you're gonna be okay. Like, you know what I mean? You don't have to think about this brujeria shit anymore. Like, we got technology. Like, you're gonna be fine. You know? And they're like, no, Juan, no. Like, you have to respect it. I'm like, okay, whatever you say.
You have to respect it.
You gotta respect culture. Is what she would say. I'm like, what? This ain't culture. This is superstitions. Imagine,
question mark.
just think about it like this. Imagine a white person inside your house whenever they do some dumb shit like that. Imagine New Year's and there's you bring a white boyfriend home, and then it's New Year's and all your family just comes out with luggage, and it's like fucking running down the street, and the white boy's like, what is happening right now?
Well, that white boy better grab his bags.
He's gonna go grab your bag, and he's just running like, where are we going? I don't even know where we're going. Imagine you're like, hey, you can spend New Year's with us, but you have to bring your luggage. Like, why? For what? Like,
And the right one's gonna be like, okay.
the right one's like, okay, where are we going? Like, we're just gonna go up and down the sidewalk.
I'm like, I'm gonna take you somewhere you've never gone.
to the lowest
sidewalk?
point of your life.
Yeah.
Literally. To the sidewalk and the low.
Chemistry. Chemistry. He's like, man, I fucking love this bitch. She's toxic as hell. She making me bring my luggage to meet her family.
Yes. Period.
Crazy. make him fold it up. He's like, it has to be right. You're like,
It has to be right.
pack
You have to
it,
you have to run. Like, and whenever I tell you, we're gonna eat these 12 uvas, and then we're gonna go run outside. Okay.
We still do the 12 uvas.
And then but then he's gonna be like, okay, I understand the 12 uvas, one for every month, but like the luggage, where are we going with the luggage? Like, don't ask questions.
Well, you're supposed
ask
to call.
questions.
You're supposed to call in a lot of trips and travel for 2025. That's what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, and he's gonna look at you like, why couldn't we just pay for the tickets right now? There's gonna be some white, there's gonna be some white shit like we could just,
He's like,
we can Expedia that shit right now. We could just, why don't you just tell me to book it? We don't have to bring the luggage right now.
Pay.
And Alonda's like, see, it's already working. It's already working. It's
working.
It's working. We're already manifesting. You brought me the right one.
Thank you, San Antonio. It's everything.
He's upside down. You go over there. You turn it around. Good. We remembered. Yeah, your mom was like, it's good. Thank God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything's working out, and it's already been 1 minute of the year.
1 minute. Yes.
That is funny.
Oh my God.
That's a good episode for something. So somebody should make that episode. Not
Of,
me,
like,
because I don't have that
what?
kind of like a sitcom. Like if somebody makes an episode of like
yeah.
all the superstitions coming to life, like coming true,
I think
and
we
some
should go
like
with like a
and
person that's not Mexican. I think that would be.
that's what I mean. Like some
Yeah.
Mexican or a black guy that shows up and like, man, I don't know what's going on in this household, but this food is good.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick around because I don't know what's happening. That's
Or just
fucking funny.
introducing
You're
it
to
to like
manifest.
your friends. Like, well, like I have a friend and she celebrates the Lunar New Year.
Mm-hmm.
So every Lunar like New Year, like we do some traditions of her, and it's like I don't understand it, but I see it.
I see the
do it.
vision.
I'll
I
do
see what's
it.
going on.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I have some like crazy ones too that I follow. Like,
Yeah.
But it's like all about.
Yeah, do we
like,
need luggage?
tradition.
I don't know. It's like, tell me how much luggage we need. She's like,
Just
what
tell
are we
me what
talking
to
about?
bring. Yeah, just tell me what to bring,
Yeah,
and
I
I'll
got you.
so to do these
I got you.
traditions. But
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I need to take some videos of these superstitions and see and watch it happen. See, now that I'm gonna clip this. I'm gonna talk about Mexican superstitions. I'm sure the comment section is gonna go crazy.
Yes, to comment it,
my
yeah.
family does this. If you're out there, so we're about to end this episode because we're low over here. But if you have some superstitions in your family that you're like, what the fuck is this? But y'all do it anyway, comment down below so that we can have a multicultural discussion about superstitions and how we're all crazy deep down at heart.
They can't judge each other.
Yeah. So we can all just secretly judge each other.
We don't.
We listen
We
and we don't
listen
judge.
and we don't judge. That's
Got
what
it.
it's gonna be called.
We listen and we don't judge.
It's a
I'm a
trend.
judge. Because you see these ears, I'm already done listening, okay? I listen all the time. I'm judging, okay? But it's okay, you can judge me too. That's what this is for. On that note, we're gonna have to call it a day. We're gonna have some more episodes in the future. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe. Find us on all social media platforms. Watch all the videos. Hopefully you like it. Comment if you don't like it. Comment anyway. It helps. And we hope you have a nice day. Girls, you guys gotta say something. Go find some Cuídate gear.
Thank you guys for watching. And yeah, comment your superstitions. We would love to hear it. I guess we can end it with sharing our favorite one. I think my favorite superstition is when they tell you, si la tortilla se infla, te vas a casar. So that's my favorite one.
That's my least.
That's really
Just kidding.
just like I haven't eaten tortillas in months.
I think I haven't looked at one.
It's like no tacos for me,
Matter
bro.
of fact, I'm not eating anything.
Cynthia's like, you know what I really like? Lettuce wraps. Like, really good.
Just lettuce. No, yeah. I think my favorite one is the getting like underneath the table. It was my favorite one because like I thought like a lot of people would think that they really would like manifest like a boyfriend into their lives. I think to me it was my favorite one because it's just plain delusion. Like just extreme deception. You're gonna be very sad. But it was my favorite one because I'm just like, why are you like on New Year's you're praying for like or you're manifesting a new man? Why? Like I'd rather do the luggage. I'd rather go travel.
I'd rather do the luggage. My favorite one is I don't think I have a favorite one right now. The the clothespin on the safety pin on the pregnant girl.
Yeah,
That's
My
crazy. That's
favorite
a new one.
That's
for
crazy.
me.
That's a new
Yeah.
one, right? That's my favorite one because y'all were out there in the full moon with the clothespin, and I'm like, you just poking your belly right now.
What if
It
you
comes
did
out.
poke yourself? What does
Like,
that
damn,
mean?
girl. On that note, until next time, see you guys. Peace.